What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another video on high altitude investing. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Dogecoin, smaller time frame, bigger time frame, all of the different time frames in this market, and a little bit about what I think is going to happen in those time frames. Super excited about today's video. If you guys are not a subscriber to this channel, please do me a favor and subscribe if you've been enjoying my content. And without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. All right, so we're starting off here with Dogecoin on the daily candlesticks. And as you can see, I have the market cycle drawn on Dogecoin. So this is what I posted on my X account this morning, basically letting people know that the immediate market cycle on Dogecoin is bullish. We have a disbelief phase right here, euphoria, anger, and depression. So we're actually in the point of maximum financial opportunity with the highest potential profit and the lowest potential risk to be buying Dogecoin right now. The other thing that I'm seeing here on the daily candlesticks is the fact that we do have bullish divergence forming here on the daily. So over here on Binance, we actually made a lower low. We didn't do this on Coinbase, but on Binance we did, and that formed a huge, massive bullish divergence here on the daily candlesticks for Dogecoin, which tells me that Dogecoin is really getting ready for a big reversal here. We're nearing the bottom of the cycle if we're not already there, and we're getting ready for that big bullish reversal that everybody's been waiting for since we topped out over here at around 47 cents in December of 2024. So now it's essentially a waiting game, waiting for Dogecoin to break out, waiting for Dogecoin especially to break above this resistance right here at around 30 cents. The second that we get above that 30-cent level, we are going to see Dogecoin really take off, break right up through our local resistance here and start a bigger picture uptrend. So essentially what Dogecoin is really doing here is an expanding triangle. We have expanding resistance with expanding support, and we're inside of this big broadening triangle here. And what I think is going to happen is now that we've tested the bottom of this broadening triangle, we will have a strong bullish reaction off of these lows down here and start to come back up off of this low up towards our local resistance and eventually get up above our local resistance here at 47 cents. And that will start the big picture bull market for Dogecoin that everybody's been waiting for. Now, the other thing that I really love about the Dogecoin chart is the market cycle in the bigger picture as well. So if we pull up our market cycle chart here and we look at Dogecoin, Dogecoin did a full cycle over the past few years. We have disbelief right here, euphoria up here. Then we have our depression phase right here. We bottomed out after depression. We start to go up for this suckers rally. That's really where the market starts to bottom out of depression. But a lot of people just think it's a suckers rally with no substance behind it. So they end up, thinking the market's going to keep going down or go down for a long time. When really the market pulls back a little bit, usually back down to support, and then it breaks out and goes for a new cycle up out of that suckers rally, out of disbelief into a new cycle. So this is a pretty common thing. After that depression phase, you will get a big pump a lot of times, followed by a big correction and a double bottom, which leads to a bigger picture bull market and a lot of profit after that point. And if you study cycles, you can see that this really is true. Even if you look at the NASDAQ composite over here on the right, and you take a look at Dogecoin over here on the left, you can see that the NASDAQ did the same thing. The NASDAQ did a big parabolic run during the internet bubble, followed by a correction, followed by a big double bottom. So this was the suckers rally on the NASDAQ right here, where everybody started to pile into the NASDAQ again, and then it corrected one more time. They all flipped bearish. Then the market took off. So this point right here on the NASDAQ in 2008 is really, really similar to where we're at on Dogecoin currently in terms of the cycle. In fact, it's actually the exact same spot that we're at in Dogecoin right now. So one of the reasons there's so much FUD out there, imagine how much FUD there would have been in the world markets in 2009, right after the 2008 financial market crash. everybody would have been bearish. Everybody, due to the emotion of the cycle, everybody would have thought that the NASDAQ was going to go for another low, that we were in a big bear market. But look what happened afterwards. And so that's why we see so many people that are bearish on crypto right now, because of the fact that the emotion of this point of the cycle is very high. A lot of people are bearish because of that emotion, and a lot of people that were bullish and then they didn't get that breakout that they were expecting, they all flip bearish because they don't have the patience or the understanding to see the cycle for what it is when that final crash happens before the big pump. And that's what 2008 and 9 really was on the NASDAQ, was a final crash before the big pump. And that's really what just happened for crypto as a whole. And by the way, it's not just the NASDAQ. Even if we pull up Bitcoin over here on the right and we take a look at Bitcoin right after the 2017 bull market, when Bitcoin had a bear market in 2018, and then another kind of correction as well in 2020. And you can see right here, that's exactly what Dogecoin did. I mean, if you look at Bitcoin on the right and you look at Dogecoin over here on the left, they are a spitting image of each other. If you look right here during 2020, when Bitcoin pulled back down to support, that's exactly what's happening right here. Same thing, same psychology, even the same little fake rising wedge that everybody thought was going to be a big breakout, when really it was a little rising wedge right there, and it was a fake out, not a breakout. That's the same thing that happened right here on Bitcoin. So it just blows my mind that the same stuff happens over and over again in these markets. People fall for the same tricks. They get deceived by the whales. They don't understand the cycles, the emotions of the cycles, and therefore they make bad investing decisions because of that. So Doge really is at that point in the cycle where a big vertical breakout is going to happen soon. Very profitable, probably all the way up to a new all-time high. I firmly believe Doge will break above its old all-time high and go for a big run, just like how Bitcoin did in 2021. Blow people away, make people a lot of money, of course, but really go for a bull run that we've all been waiting for a very long time. And that's why Warren Buffett says the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. The same is true for the crypto markets. A lot of people don't expect a big bull market like this because they've simply given up. They don't have the patience to expect a big bull market because they're sitting there going, it hasn't pumped yet. It's been so long. I've been waiting for this big pump and it never came. And so because of that feeling that they have, they're unable to see the market for what it is. And so they become impatient. That impatience does not serve them in any way whatsoever. The other thing I want to talk about too is the importance of wicks. Like a lot of times you'll see wicks at local bottoms and local tops. We have a big wick right here at this local top right here that led to a big crash. We had a wick right here on the bottom of Bitcoin, which led to the bottom right here. And we have a big wick right now on Dogecoin too, which again is so similar to that point on Bitcoin right here. So that's the same point in the cycle. This is the disbelief phase of the Dogecoin market. We're really ready to break out into a new cycle. That's why so many people think we're headed into another bear market, because we're in disbelief. But people don't understand the human emotions that play out in these markets. If you understand the psychology of a market cycle, you can sidestep all of that confusion and start to see the market the way that the whales see this market. And the way that the big whales see this market is they completely cut out all of the noise. They focus on what's actually true. And if you can tune yourself to their frequency, if you can kind of tune in to the same thoughts, the same things that the whales are looking at, if you can look at the same things that they're looking at and think the way they're thinking, then you're going to start to position yourself where the big whales are positioning themselves. And the way they see the market is as the market actually is. So what they do is they focus on the cycles, they focus on the fundamental principles of markets, of investing, and you use those fundamental principles to tune out from all of the noise, to cut away all of the false stuff that's out there and just see Bitcoin or Dogecoin or whatever coin or stock you're analyzing for what it actually is. And what the market is actually doing in most cases is different than what the majority believes. So like in the case of crypto right now, if you go on crypto Twitter, X, a lot of people are bearish. 90% of the market is bearish. Look at the fear and greed index. If we go check out the Bitcoin fear and greed index, we are in a state of fear. And last week we were in a state of extreme fear, yet people were trying to call a top on the market. Markets don't top in a state of extreme fear. Markets top in a state of extreme greed. So the majority of the time, this market is actually doing something different than what most people think it's doing. So the bigger whales, if you want to tune into their frequency, you've got to see this market for what it is. And really the only way to consistently do that in an effective way is to use the market cycle, to study the human emotion that occurs in these markets, because then you can determine accurately whether you're in a state of euphoria where everybody's buying and they think it's going to go up forever and they're all excited, or whether you're in a state of depression like right now where everybody's afraid, they think it's going to go down forever. Those are the two polar opposites, and the only way to identify those two poles is to have an understanding of the market cycle and to pay attention to these markets and to study them. So that's why I always say buy the dip, buy fear, buy when there's blood in the streets, buy when nobody thinks crypto is cool anymore. People are pretty excited about Bitcoin as a whole, but crypto right now, like altcoins specifically, a lot of people don't think that they're very special or anything that's really that cool. Most people are kind of thinking altcoins are done for. So yeah, there's some excitement about Bitcoin still, and crypto is becoming a bigger thing. So more people are excited about it than when I first got into it. But in terms of the emotion of the cycle, people are not like they were right here in 2021. And it's obvious in the way that they're acting, the charts that they're posting, the things that they're saying. Once we get to that point when the market is just absolutely bullish and just crazy bullish, you're going to see it. Everybody will be bullish. Nobody will think the market's going to go lower. Only a select few people of really intelligent investors will see that the market is overvalued once we get to that point of euphoria. So again, that's why I say study these cycles, study the emotion, know where you're at in the cycle. If you can have an understanding of where you're at in the market cycle and you can position yourself properly in that market cycle, you can be successful in these markets. But if you don't know the context of where you're at, what are you going to do? You're probably going to buy high or sell low or make all the wrong decisions. But if you have a proper understanding of the context of the cycle and you know exactly where you're at in the cycle, all fear gets taken away and you just do the right thing. You do the right thing. You don't overthink it. You don't sit there and second guess yourself. You just do the right thing. And when it comes to the crypto markets, the right thing is to buy more. The right thing is to hold on to the crypto that you already have. The right thing is to understand that the biggest pump ever is coming in these markets, and the only people that are going to lose are the people that are too skeptical, too cynical, and sitting on the sidelines. So if you guys want to have an actual understanding of these markets, where they go, how they pump, how they correct, all of the ins and outs of trading and investing, then start to learn technical analysis. Buy a good book, Technical Analysis of the Financial Markets or Elliott Wave Profitability. Buy a good book. Start learning. Buy a course. Do coaching. I even personally have a one-on-one coaching program. You can apply below in the description box. Take this seriously. Take your investing and your technical analysis seriously, and you'll be able to make good decisions. But if you're just doing this for fun, if you're not taking it seriously, if you don't want to actually learn this stuff, if you're just going to be a noob like 90% of the market, then you're going to lose money. But if you take this seriously, anybody can learn it. A 4-year-old could learn how to see these charts. In fact, a lot of times 4-year-olds see these charts more accurately than adults do. But the fact of the matter is that anybody can learn how to trade and invest. All it takes is a little bit of effort, a little bit of willingness, and a desire to learn, and taking it seriously, being willing to learn. And maybe a mentor too will sidestep a lot of suffering and a lot of problems that would come if you don't have leadership and guidance. So that's why I say, be bullish on crypto, be excited. The future is bright. We have big things coming in the market. We're going to make a lot of money if you're willing to hold on, if you're willing to buy now, if you're willing to put money into the markets, if you're willing to trust that crypto has something big in store for you, then yeah, you're going to make a lot of money. So that's why I say take trading and investing seriously. If you guys take this seriously and you really put your mind to it, you can learn how to do it. And it's not that hard. You just have to have the right knowledge, the right information, and know how to apply it. And it really helps if you have a little bit of guidance as well from somebody who already knows what they're doing and they've been through the trial and the error and the fire and the flames to learn how to do this. The other thing I want to talk about too in today's video, if you guys really want to get good at trading and investing and you guys want to make money in these markets, you got to learn how to be self-disciplined. You got to cut out all of the stuff in your life that's distracting you, that's causing you not to think clearly, and just give everything to the process of learning. And just say, you know what? I don't care about all of these worldly distractions and all of this stuff that sounds enticing, and just focus on getting good at trading and investing. And so that's actually one of the things in my ebook. If you guys don't know about my ebook, join the free Discord, link in the description box below. Come over here and click knowledge and links, and then click on free ebook. Inside my free ebook, I talk about all of the fundamentals of trading and investing, like exchanges, why you're doing it, platforms, all the good stuff, uptrends, downtrends. This is a completely free ebook. This really, I probably should have charged money for this because I really went extensive and did a lot of research and did a really extensive job in making this ebook, but I just decided to give it for free out to everybody. I even have examples of Bitcoin down here at 3K, why I was excited about Bitcoin at the bottom. Actually, this bottom right here. So this ebook I made quite a few years ago. Some of these examples are older, and you can see how the market did exactly what I said it was going to do in this ebook. So definitely download this ebook, get it printed out if you want to. It's only 38 pages, and learn about trading and investing. But one of the most important things I talk about in this ebook is meditation, having a personal vision, exercise, keeping positive, constructive people around you, reading books daily, having a balanced diet, avoiding heavy alcohol or drug use, writing down 10 to 20 things you're grateful for. I know this sounds like so simple, right? Stop doing things that are bad and live a clean life and you're going to make better decisions. But so few people actually do this because in today's world, a lot of this stuff isn't popular. It's more popular to go drink with your friends or to go do things that you shouldn't be doing than it is to be self-disciplined. But if you're self-disciplined, you will make better decisions in your trading, investing, and you will see this market for what it is. So I invite you guys to download my free ebook and learn everything you can. And definitely, if you guys want to make good decisions, do your best to live a disciplined, temperate, balanced life, and you will be a better investor for it. I promise you that. There's no doubt in my mind that you will be a better trader and investor for trying to be a better, more temperate and disciplined person. So that's my view on Dogecoin. Super excited. Big things are coming in this market. We have a bright future ahead for crypto as a whole. Very excited about this market. Very excited about Dogecoin, especially the altcoin markets as a whole. Big things are coming. Very, very excited. So thank you guys for tuning in. I love you. I appreciate you. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and share it with your friends. And I look forward to seeing you guys in future videos. And as always, stay profitable out there.